One of the hardest struggles a person can go through is the struggle of turning a dream into reality. Just as how it's impossible to create something from nothing, likewise, it is near as impossible to turn something as intangible as a dream into something real and physical and palpable, you know? So that begs the question, how does one convert a dream into reality? It's simple. Action. Just as how it's impossible for something to pop out of nothing, it's just as impossible for a dream to become a reality from a state of inertia. Your dreams can never come into reality unless you knock down the first domino. Then things can really start moving. But how does one even come to dream big in the first place? Well, it's ambition. Ambition is the great divider. It distinguishes the extraordinary from the extraordinary. You see what I did there? Because it's like extraordinary instead of ordinary, because like the so ordinary, it's actually extra. Ambition is the driving force that perpetuates our dreams. The greater our ambition, the greater our dreams. If you clicked on this video, I think it's safe to assume that you have big dreams for yourself. You want to achieve some big goal in your life. You don't want to settle for mediocrity. And for that, I commend you. You have great ambition. You see, this vigor that you and I have prevents us from living in monotony. Our minds are always racing with all sorts of ideas, and we want nothing more than to bring these ideas to life. And so, we set out. We take deliberate strides to make our dreams reality. Take this channel for example. I have this big goal of being successful on YouTube. Despite this platform teeming with competition, it doesn't stop me from continuing to pursue this career path. Why? Because it's my dream. What more reason do I need? In order to truly live, we have to be vulnerable and start taking risks. And this ties in seamlessly with the topic of this video, dreams. Dreams are, by definition, risky, because the inherent nature of dreams that make them so alluring and captivating is that they're unobtainable. You literally can't get any more risky than that. And this is why our parents sometimes literally beat our dreams out of us. They tell us, my friend, you have to be realistic, oh. YouTube cannot pay the bills, oh. Why don't you want to be doctor? You know they make plenty money, oh. I don't want to bash parents, especially ethnic parents, because they simply don't know any better. They grew up in a time where only a handful of professions guaranteed respectable income. So you can't blame them for projecting their limiting beliefs on you. Pardon them as much as you can, but at the end of the day, it's your life and it's your dream. And this reminds me, a couple weeks ago my uncle came over for a visit. He and I were just making small talk when he asked me the dreaded question. So when you're finished college, you're going to university, yes? You see, I ain't going to uni. I'm not saying that it's objectively bad. Like, if you want to be a doctor or engineer or really anything that requires professional training, yes, university is a must. But for the average guy who doesn't aspire for these high-end jobs, university may not be the best course of action. Everybody around us tells us that if we don't go to uni, then we can never be successful, because a degree can serve as a means of confirmation of your competence as a person. But that's just not true. This myth that pursuing a higher education is the only way to achieve online success is ludicrous. I mean, just look around you. Look at the people who got their higher education and a fancy degree. They're still struggling to pay rent. This idea that having a fancy piece of paper will give you an advantage over others is not as set in stone as it seems. And don't get me started on student loans and debt. Now that's just evil. Sure, I'm not going to dispute the fact that going to university does make you more likely to be employed. But for creatives like myself, I don't think a degree is necessary. Your value as a worker should be tied not to a piece of paper, but rather your skill sets. Anyways, when my uncle asked me this question, I told him that I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to uni at all. And I can vividly remember the look on his face distort from curiosity into concern. I could tell that he didn't approve of my path whatsoever, and so he instantly tried to sway my decision. He tried explaining to me that if I don't go to uni, I'll have a disadvantage in life, and that business and freelancing is too risky and unsustainable. And he's not wrong. YouTube is a business and it's not easy to get into. Only a select few have the abilities to grow on YouTube as a platform, and only a small amount of those select few will be able to monetize their channel, and only a smaller amount of those select few can actually sustain their livelihood doing so. And only an even smaller amount can actually stay consistent throughout the entire ordeal without burning out or their channels dying. So why, despite all of this, do I even try? No. I've already made up my mind. Sometimes in life you can just tell when something is right for you. It's as though this path is calling out to you, and so it's your responsibility to heed that calling. This is more than just a gut feeling. This is a canon event. The accumulation of every experience in my life has led to this decision, to this very moment.